A very warm welcome, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about lifting our spirits. So, what do I mean by that? So that is listen, inspire, focus, and thrive. So, we lift each other, we lift ourselves and each other to excel in life. So, this is the main objective of this webinar today. Let's go into each of these aspects one by one. Before we go into that, let me introduce you to you all. So I am Somesh Kumar. I'm born in Bangalore, India, and originally from Kerala in India. Have been in Ireland since the year 2000. I have 20 plus years of corporate experience and 3 master's degree, and got a distinguished Toastmaster award from Toastmasters International. And the main point is I'm a spiritual junkie, if you want to say, passionate about psychology and spiritual wisdom. Right. So the first part that we are going through is listen. This is very important part. Everything starts with listening. The most important thing is to listen to what our mind and body is saying. Because at every moment we are having multitude of thoughts, and the thoughts gives rise to emotions. And with emotions, we can either go in a particular direction which is positive, or it could go in the negative direction as well. So therefore, it is very important to be aware, to listen to what is going on within the mind and the body. So we have to learn to listen to our intuition. We have to learn to listen to our gut feeling. We learn to be at peace within. So that is very important part, because if we are peaceful, then we will understand how to listen to intuition. And when we are listening to intuition, then we learn to be free in thought and decision making. So decision making has to be done from a frame of mind that is peaceful. If we are making any decision in a worried or anxiety state of mind, anxious state of mind, then it's not going to bring in any best results to us. So these are the quotes that I wanted to talk about. The world is giving you answers each day. Learn to listen. This is very important. So whatever thoughts we are putting out, we are getting that back in return. So if we are having thoughts of love, peace, and fraternity, we are getting. So immediately when the thought is going out of us, we are in that state of mind which is peaceful. But if any other kind of negative thoughts are coming up, then the first person that gets negative vibes is me, if I am generating that negative thoughts. And then it goes back and then comes back again. So it's very important to understand, to listen to our intuition. So one of the things that I could talk about is something that was experienced in a few years back, where I was not listening to the body, and then body went into such a state that I had to go to hospital. So this is an example. So listening to body is very important, and listening to mind as well, what thoughts we are having. This is the first step. Listen. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. What is that voice? That's the voice of intuition. Listen and silent are spelled with the same letters. Think about it. So this is very important. When we are silent within, when our mind is calm, then we can listen to the voice of intuition. But if the mind is not focused, it is going here and there, then it's very difficult to listen to what the voice within is saying. So we only hear what we listen for. This is an extremely important quote as well. What does this mean? Our mind has got certain set of thoughts, and certain set of inclinations, and we are interested to listen to those kinds of topics. For example, if someone is interested to talk about a particular sport, then they are in that mode then. So wherever that sport, the talk of that sport is ongoing, they will go there and they will listen to that. So we only hear what we listen for. Stop, look, listen. So this is very important. So yeah, stop our constant flow of thoughts, or we don't need to stop forcefully. Just being aware of the thoughts is the first step. So when we are aware, automatically we know that it comes and goes. So we don't get attached to any of the thought because we are not the thoughts. Thoughts are coming to us and going away from us. And this is very important to understand. This is the first concept. So when we are in the state of listening, then we can get into the state of inspiring. When we understand what is our unique purpose, we reach into that state where we can inspire others. First we need to understand what is my unique contribution to the world. When we know that, then we can inspire ourselves. And when our inspiration is at such a high level, we can inspire others. So when we fill up ourselves with all that inspiration, we go out and give that inspiration to everyone. Self inspiration and inspiring others. Be with people who inspire you to become stronger and better. This is extremely important. The inspiration is rubbed off from the people who we are associating with. One of the example is if someone is associating with people who are drunkards, for example, then at a certain point of time, that association will cause the person who is associating to become drunkard as well. That's a negative example. Positive example, if someone is associating with motivated people, then that motivation will rub off to us, and then we also become motivated. But the first step is listen. When we are silent, we listen, and then we have that inspiration within us, and we inspire ourselves first, we get motivated, and then we motivate the world. And life has two rules: never quit, always remember rule number one. This is an interesting point. So when we are inspired, when we are motivated by a purpose, then we go towards it regardless of whatever happens on the way. And our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. Said by Confucius. Again, it's the same concept of understanding that failures are stepping stones for success. Ultimately, success will be there if we are determined to follow the path, if we are inspired in the direction that we are going to take. People inspire you or they drain you, pick them wisely. This is another quote. Again, it is association, who we are associating with. This is the second part of the lift terminology, lift paradigm that I'm talking about here. The third is the focus. F stands for focus. If we want to continue inspiration, we need to have a requisite focus. Continue to focus on inspiring ourselves and others. The focus has to be kept in terms of keeping that inspiration within us. Keep the innate wants in mind, as needs will not fuel focus for a long time. What do I mean by that? The wants are something it is a vision. A vision, for example, if my vision is to inspire millions and millions of people, and if I keep myself focused on that, then that fuels me every day to keep doing what I want to do. And if it's only needs, what is a need, for example, to get that 100,000 euro or something? So that's a need. And that does not fuel us for a long time. It does not keep us focused for a long time. To keep us focused for a long time, we need to have the long-term vision of what service we want to provide to the humanity. And that will keep the focus alive. Successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. This is said by Bruce Lee. Extremely important point. Average man with laser-like focus. So everyone can become a genius. Everyone has the seed of genius in them. It's just a matter of being silent, listening to it, getting the inspiration from it, and focusing a laser-like focus. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Again, an extremely important point. What does this mean? It means that when we are fighting the old, our energies are very limited. And if we are trying to fight the old, then we cannot have enough energy to build the new. The most important thing is to build the new, keep building the new ideas, whatever we have, and positive ideas. And when we concentrate on positive ideas, automatically the negatives will get eroded, will be taken away. Stay focused on your goals, your peace, and your happiness. Don't waste your time on anything that doesn't contribute to your growth. This is again an important quote. Focusing on positive, peace, happiness, love. And then we are not wasting our time and energy on something that is not empowering us. This is an extremely important point. And then this quote, life is like a camera. Focus on what's important and you will capture it perfectly. Again, a great quote. As we know, the camera is focused properly on a particular object. It captures it perfectly. Similarly, if our mind is focused on what we want to achieve, we will capture it. We will attain it, undoubtedly. There might be some trials and tribulations that will happen. That's where the inspiration and the focus comes into picture, along with listening to what the universe is saying to us. So this is the third point that I wanted to mention. And the last is thriving. So this is the lift paradigm that I'm talking about. And thriving is when we have listened properly to what the universe, our body and mind is saying. We get inspired by it and we focus towards our vision. Then we don't just survive, we thrive. On a day-to-day basis, what we are doing, unfortunately, is just surviving day after day without knowing where we want to go. But when we have that goal, then we are always working towards that goal. And that inspires us, that keeps the focus in us, and then we thrive. Thriving is a place to live the life with full vigor and enthusiasm. So that is thriving. Surviving is the vigor and enthusiasm is up and down, but thriving is you're always the next moment, the current moment, fully present in the current moment, and always looking forward to the next moment where we are fully involved in whatever we are doing. So this is thriving, being fully present, being fully aware, and leaving everyone with an impression of increase. Whoever we are meeting, we are giving them the service from our side in a genuine way. That is thriving. So Maya Angelou says, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. It's a very amazing quote. We are here to get to tomorrow. We're not here to get to tomorrow. We are here for today, to bloom today. We were made to thrive. Living in the present is extremely important. As this says, don't exist, live, get out, explore, thrive. Challenge authority. Challenge authority could be a little bit controversial. What does this mean? It means that we need to think from our own perspective and understand the perspective. The authority might give some ideas, but we can and we have to understand it from our own mind and make it our own. When we make an idea our own, then it becomes part of our being. We are that idea then. Then we give that idea to the world. Challenge yourself, evolve, change forever. The world is constantly changing, the molecules are constantly changing, and therefore change is inevitable. But we have a choice in terms of the growth, the personal growth that we can do. Another great quote from Deepak Chopra, the ego, however, is not who you really are. The ego is your self-image. It is your social mask. It is a role you are playing. Your social mask thrives on approval. It wants control, and it is sustained by power because it lives in fear. Right? So control and power, and it's not inherently bad, but if it becomes the only focus that we have, the focus has to be service. The focus has to be giving value to others. If that is the focus and if that is the inspiration that we are taking, then there's nothing wrong in having the power. But if power is the only thing that a person is looking for, and the social mask of thriving on approval, then that thriving is not a thriving. It's based on fear, and it's a fearful living. In a thriving world, we are not, the only thing that we are concerned is to create positive atmosphere wherever we go. The external is not controlling us. The external is giving us some impulses, but we don't do a knee-jerk reaction to those impulses. We respond to those impulses. We take it in, and then we see how we should respond, and then we respond back that way. Sometimes the response is just to be silent. Sometimes the response would be to do something and do it in such a way that it gives an impression of increase on the other person. What do we mean by impression of increase? It means that the other person is feeling that I'm feeling a little bit much more better since before the time I met this person. So when I met this, after I met this person, I feel so much better. Everything feels much better. That is impression of increase. When we are genuinely appreciating someone, that is impression of increase. We are giving them the impression of increase. And that's what will make the world a better place, one person at a time. We can make the world the best place. So to conclude, what you tell yourself every day will either lift you up or tear you down. So let's take action. Let's lift ourselves. And if you need a coach, I'm always here to serve you. My details are here. So thank you all very much for joining. Take care.